Hey folks, real quick, I'm actually setting up to shoot another video, but as I was doing so, I was going through some of the comments on my other videos, and I saw one that I just need to rant about for a little bit, if you don't mind. It's the video that I put up as I sit here shooting this. It's the video that I put up yesterday about how Trump and Republicans use the big lie and also smaller lies to kind of push their narrative and control the political conversation. And, you know, it's an anti-Trump video, as I have a knack for doing. And someone left a comment on it and said, "You took his jab, though, didn't you?" Meaning, I assume, the COVID-19 vaccine, which was first released during Trump's last administration. And what caught me about that one was his jab? His jab. So you're crediting Donald Trump, who was president at the time, for the life-saving COVID-19 vaccine that, yes, indeed I did get when it first came out, and I have received boosters several times since then, as hopefully everybody else has. So we're giving Donald Trump credit for the vaccine. Donald Trump, not the doctors and researchers and scientists who actually developed the COVID-19 vaccine, actually the array of COVID-19 vaccines that were made available in record time to the public to help us protect ourselves against the pandemic that was raging at the time that Donald Trump as president did practically fuck all else to help us with. Yeah, sure, let's give Trump credit for the vaccine when really all he did towards it was to sign the proverbial check while other people did the work, as though we're supposed to imagine Trump himself in a white lab coat standing there doing the research, formulating the vaccine, running the clinical trials. Trump had nothing to do with it. Donald Trump doesn't even know how a vaccine works. But he was perfectly happy at the time to take credit for it, wasn't he? When the vaccine came out, he was perfectly happy to take credit for it, at the same time as his incompetence had worsened the pandemic to the extent that it was worse here in the United States than it was anywhere else in the world. How many people, how many hundreds of thousands of people died of COVID-19 in this country because of the incompetence of President Donald Trump? Because from day one, he downplayed and undermined the seriousness, because he tried to tell people that it would just go away on its own, because he pushed back against efforts to have lockdowns and social distancing requirements and PPE requirements. And now we found out much later that he was sending testing kits and testing machines to Russia at a time when they were at a premium in this country. But sure, let's make sure he gets credit for the vaccine. Okay, I'll give him credit for the vaccine. The first vaccines came out while he was still president. While he was still president and presiding over a pandemic that had gone far worse and far more out of control than it would have if we had had a fucking competent president in charge at the time. So sure, in addition to blaming him for all of the shit that he did to add to the pandemic and make it worse and get more people fucking killed who didn't need to die, let's make sure we give him credit. Because he was president. He presided over the release of the first COVID-19 vaccines that undoubtedly saved a lot of lives. Sure, he deserves credit for that. And you're goddamn right I took, quote-unquote, Trump's COVID-19 vaccine. For the same reason that if I were in a terrible car accident and I were trapped in my vehicle, I would welcome the help of the paramedics and the first responders who came to cut me out of the fucking thing and take me to the hospital, even if I thought the mayor of my town at the time was an asshole. Oh, you took Trump's jab, though, didn't you? Like, what point are you trying to make with that, other than the self-evident one that you're a fucking dumbass? The fuck out of here.